Thank you very much, Chairman Aderholt, and thank you so much, Mr. Secretary, for being with us here today, Dr. Johansson and Mr. Young. Nice to see you as well. So welcome, congratulations on your new job, and I can see that your Georgia colleagues speak well of you, so we will all look forward to working with you. I have a lot of questions asked, so I'll submit some of them for the record and hope that you'll give me a chance perhaps to talk to you sometime outside of this committee. I was originally born in Minnesota. My grandparents were Scandinavian immigrants, and they were dairy farmers their whole lives. I moved to Maine as a teenager, and I've been in a very rural state and one that has seen a real resurgence in farming for the last 45 years. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that really concern us and some opportunities that we see. By the way, we're 49th in broadband accessibility, so we hope you can fix that problem. Like a lot of my colleagues, I'm appalled by the president's budget and the impact it could have on my state and rural America, and I think you've heard from our committee that's a bipartisan concern. This is a very bipartisan committee, and I think many of us feel that the president made a lot of promises to farmers and to rural America, and the budget is a betrayal of that, and we hope we can work through some of those issues, and we hope we can find some common ground with you. A couple things I'm going to focus on because we have such limited time. I know there's been a lot of talk about rural development, but I just want to make clear, while there are deep concerns about the reorganization, and I appreciate your attempting to address some of that, zeroing out so many programs in rural development is a huge issue for us. It's not just the reorganization, but particularly in rural housing. Multiple programs are limited, big zeros that support home ownership, affordable rental housing. Maine received $316.8 million in investments through rural housing programs just last year. We're 38th in per capita income. Affordable housing is a huge issue for us. I've met with a lot of our housing people in my state, and they're just shaking in their boots about how we're going to deal with this. So that, I will say, is a very important topic to us, as well as other programs under rural development. And another issue I want to put on the table that I can't get to everything about today, but one that I often focus on and not a lot of people on the committee do, but that is the organic industry and organic farming in this country. And I think when you talk about the top three issues for farmers being trade, labor, and regulation, yes, they are true, but another one is missing opportunities. And I feel that in this area we've been missing an opportunity, and I want to make sure that it stays as a priority and becomes a priority of yours. One of my concerns is an 11% cut from the National Organic Program and the suggestion that we won't fill 3 positions. This is an issue for a lot of reasons. We've read a lot recently about fraud in the organic industry and challenges with imports. I hope your new Trade Undersecretary will be focusing on some of that and making sure that these opportunities that are now there for American farmers to grow a higher value crop with organics won't be lost by cheap imports coming in that aren't meeting the same organic standards that we have today. So again, that's a really serious concern for me. And I would hate to see those cuts in the National Organic Program when I think that we have opportunities to grow here. This is a $50 billion industry. It's 13% of what's grown in this country today. There's a huge shortage of organic commodities. It's the fastest growing area in retail. You see it in every store you go into today, whether it's a Whole Foods or a chain store, and in fact, Walmart wants to be the largest seller of retail organics in this country. So you can see the market is there, and we don't want to lose it. And frankly, I can see I'm going to talk most of my time and not let you talk, but I just want to say, you know, as everyone else, I hope you will come and visit Maine and take a tour through New England. I know you've been to a lot of states around the country now. You've seen the Midwest, and you've seen a lot of agriculture. But I think in New England you'd see some real opportunities where growth is happening in agriculture. The average age in Maine of our farmer is stable or going down. The number of farms under cultivation is going up. We have almost 500 organic farms today. Now, we were a breadbasket in the 17, 18, and early 1900s. And that changed for us when Midwest agriculture really took over. But we're seeing a resurgence, and that's huge. Those are jobs in rural America and really important to us. Our farmers actually farm to the market. You said farmers shouldn't be planting for programs. Well, we benefit from almost none of the crop insurance or other programs. And so our farmers have learned to do that, and one of those opportunities is on locally grown and organic food. So I hope you'll come and visit us and see some of these things that are going on, and also see some of the challenges that we would face if there are, in fact, huge cuts to SARE or value-added producer grants or EQIP. tiny little programs at USDA that have made a huge difference are nothing compared to crop insurance, but have given us those opportunities. So I got 0 seconds left, but if you, maybe the chair will indulge us with 30 seconds, and you and I could certainly take up this conversation again.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I'd welcome the opportunity to come and see. There's nothing like being on the ground there. And I had heard the news of your decreasing demographic age as well as the number of farmers there. And they are producing for a market that's hungry for many of those food farm-to-table types of issues as well. So hopefully we can benefit to them. Certainly one of our programs from younger, just starting farmers. And you know, some of these commercial farms in the Midwest, it takes a lot of money, but many of your guys are starting with minimal resources there and growing it out. So I appreciate that, and certainly the public depends on USDA for the organic label, and we take that very seriously. As you may know, we certify the organic certifiers. We can't be everywhere about that, but we will remain ever vigilant over the import and the authenticity and the validation of the organic label coming internationally that competes with our growers and make sure that those are grown under the same standards that we require here locally.
Great. Well, we will certainly follow up with some of those issues, and thank you for your response.
Dr. Harris.